Didn't really need time or have time to study, so they just took the test. I knew for me that I had to study and make sure the first time I was going to take it, the first time I was going to pass that test. Hi, I'm Cheyenne, and welcome to my channel where we talk about everything that has to do with traveling, social work, and mental health, and how to find various ways that we can pour into ourselves even on our most difficult days. So today is all about LMSW and studying for the social work exam. So this is for social workers who just graduated. This is for someone who's taking it for the second time, which is okay. But now we have the books, now what? So let's get into it. The thing that I will be showing you today is really what helped me in this process of studying for the exam. And I hope that this will be helpful to you guys. So definitely stay tuned. So when I started studying for the social work exam, I needed to get these two books. So the first book I got, these two books, as you can see, they're worn because I was using this every single day. So I started with these two books, and the number one thing is to first get organized. So when I started studying for the LMSW, I really wasn't sure how long I should study for. Didn't know, what is it, daily, is it weekly? So I did some research and I found out that when you, when someone doesn't pass the first time, or when someone doesn't pass the exam, they give you a 90-day period. So I basically use a 90-day period to study. Now, for some people, I know that once they graduated, they literally took the test maybe in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They didn't really need time or have time to study, so they just took the test. I knew for me that I had to study and make sure the first time I was going to take it, the first time I was going to pass that test. So I really use and I knew for me I couldn't play around like that. So I really wanted to take the time to study. So I used a 90-day period. Now, besides getting organized with books, notebooks, etc., I wanted to take the time to organize exactly how I was going to study and pass on the first try. So I told myself I needed to put in an hour every single day, whatever that looks like, even if that was listening to podcasts, if that was writing down on my flashcards. I really needed to put in that time for at least an hour every single day. Now, let's take a deep dive into the text. So when I took a deep dive into the text, I really wanted to take the time to really organize how I was going to, set up my flashcards or set up my study materials. So I took the time to analyze the test construction and how it was really set up. So what I found was there's the 4 content areas, there's the competencies, and there are what's called the KSAs, which stands for knowledge, skills, and ability statements. So then I went through the types of questions that were going to be on the test, which were recall questions, application questions, and reasoning questions. Number 2, the thing that I needed to do is create a system. We have to create a system. So my system looked like I was creating the flashcards and my study guides. So while reading and analyzing the tests, so generally the pass point ranges from 90 to 107 correct answers of the 150 scored questions. Now, as a reminder, there are 150 scored questions on the exam. Each exam has 20 pre-test questions that are not scored at all and do not affect your results. So yeah, I'm gonna put some time into this and make sure I get it done. When I'm working with my clients and assisting them on the studying process, I like to ask if they need any what ASWB calls the non-standard testing arrangements, which if you have a disability or any health conditions, or if English is not your primary language, you may be eligible to receive the non-standing testing arrangements. For example, my social work mamas out there, they have what's called a lactating arrangement, which means you may be approved for the standing arrangements. So you can pump, you can breastfeed during the exam appointment, or with the non-standing test arrangements, you can then, if you notice that, or if this is your second time or your third time taking the test and notice that you're not finishing within the allotted time frame and that you still had questions to take, or the time just ran out, you can also apply for this as well. So, which I would say that's a number one indicator that you need extra time if that's what you experience. Number 4 tip is to really notice and acknowledge if you haven't tested anxiety beforehand. If that's something that comes up for you and you're having anxiety through your test, is really to, after you're studying, for the time frame, which really helped me, I took maybe about 2 weeks to really kind of get my mind right, to do some breathing exercises, to really relax myself before taking the test. I definitely think that's very helpful, and develop a different mindset and going to the test, and really to relax the anxiety brain. And just notice, if you have some test anxiety, just develop that before you get into test, to really develop that mindset that you need in order to take the test. Because when you're there, the anxiety will pour in, but if we have some anxiety tools set up or in place, hopefully they'll be able to calm you down at the testing location. Now, those are my 4 tips. If you find yourself struggling through the preparation and studying for the exam, or need an accountability partner, feel free to email me below, or go to my website, Acquired Learning Solutions, and schedule a discovery call so we can figure out how we can work together and pass together. Okay? So thank you so much. Bye now. See you soon.